Hello, guys, and welcome to a new edition of Fantasy Booking Friday. I am so excited to be here with the famous Reg. Righteous.
Famous.
Yes, you're famous.
Thank you.
Your rants have made you famous, so I,
I,
I think we got to say that.
okay, I would agree. Thank you for having me, Jaychele. This is dope. You've been a great supporter these last couple months, so this is super dope for having me. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much for being here. I love all of your work. We just had Will on last week also, and we got an episode with Phil coming out in 2 weeks. So we
That's
got
what's
all
up.
Gravity Boys
Yes.
in gear right now. But on this new edition, we're going to be focusing on Keith Lee and Naomi. So which one do you want to start with? Do you have a preference?
No, I don't have a preference.
Okay, let's do Keith Lee because I'm kind of more proud of this one than I am for the Naomi one.
Definitely.
Do you want to go first or do you want me to go first?
Yeah, I'll let you go first.
Okay. So the idea that I had involves bringing in more than just Keith Lee into AEW. The idea was how could Keith Lee debut in AEW? So my initial idea was to bring in Shane Taylor Promotions to do this. I want to see them in AEW anyway, so this was kind of a way for me to cheat and get them in here without even doing a special booking episode on them, which we probably will eventually. But I think this was an idea that I said in the space yesterday, that you should be able to use the ROH 6-man tag titles in AEW instead of having to bring in their own trios titles. And I feel like ROH wouldn't have a problem with it, especially like if we're looking towards like January to April.
Right.
We have like a couple of defenses in between there. I listed a couple names, Jurassic Express, 2.0 would be really good. The Dark Order, you've got like 2 or 3 pairs, mixes of 3 in the Dark Order that you could use there. The Best Friends also, you got a couple of them, so you could figure out how that would work. I would kind of keep them away from the Young Bucks because the Young Bucks are hard to book, because I don't know if coming in they would let STP beat the Young Bucks. In my opinion, they should, but will it happen? We're gonna ignore that question. But I think you give them like a 3 or 4 month run with those belts, just beating everybody, right? And then you can let Shane say, we beat all of these teams, I want to do singles now. So he can be cut off. You know how they always do the music thing, and he can just be cut off by Keith Lee's music. And it can just be debuting Keith Lee, and Keith and Shane can just shake hands and say, let's have a match. Let's just do it for the culture. Like, all the respect in the world, but we need to do this for what it represents. And from there, they can have a great match. And in the end, they hug. And then we get we used to get these vignettes in WWE, not so much anymore. But they do it in Impact too, where it's like backstage meetings in like a special conference room. You could do with like Ron, Shane, and Keith Lee. They can just be meeting backstage. You can have O'Shea, Khan, and Moses just at the door guarding them, making sure nobody's coming in, whatever. But eventually you can announce that Keith has decided to join STP, therefore reforming the Pretty Boy Killers. So from there, you can let O'Shea, Khan, and Moses take over the 6-man titles, and you can let Shane and Keith as PBK go after the tag titles, so they can hold all the gold. There's also an angle here where you can let them both angle for singles competition through this, or even with the tag titles, you could do that as well. Or you can find a way to let SCP elevate Keith to the TNT title or the world title or whatever. You could figure that out however you want. But the idea that I had was to do it through STP, because when I talked to Shane, he said that they have already talked. That Keith and Shane have already talked. So that was like, okay, we're booking them together.
Right.
So what did you have in mind for Keith?
I thought it'd be a little bit more simplistic with Keith Lee. I think the best way to do it would be, the way that I would do it would be the start of Dynamite. Dynamite starts up. Keith Lee just walks out there. No music, no nothing. Hops in the ring. He has his gear on. He grabs the mic. He says, yo, y'all know who I am. I didn't get to show who I was in WWE, and I'm about to show y'all right now who wants to come get it. There could be a number of great guys. I think that could start, with him and the way that Keith Lee moves, the way that he works. I think maybe a wrestler like my homie Big Will Hobbs could be a great opponent for him. I think it'd probably be something somebody he'd have to go over though. So Will Hobbs probably wouldn't be the best one, but somebody like that. So he just comes in, makes the challenge. We do all know who he is. He has a great match, tears it down. And I think the best way would be because we talk a lot about representation, we talk a lot about diversity, we talk about a lot about these things, and people think we just want immediate happenings to happen. We want them to go immediately to being world champion. We want them to immediately be no. We like build up. We like stories. We like things. Keith Lee just comes in, fights through the rankings, and every week just gains more and more fanfare. I mean, the people are going to love him right off the bat, but I think if we just put him in the ring, because in the WWE, he didn't really get to show it. That'll be like the main thing. If we just keep putting him in the ring every single week, he's tearing it up. He's tearing it up. He's tearing it up. I think he could get to the TNT title, continue on to the TNT title, and what it represents is one of my favorite aspects of AEW because it's showing a lot of like cool independent wrestlers. Like the biggest independent wrestler can get a shot at the TNT title, which is I think super dope. And Keith Lee can continue that, taking on some people on the independents, just elevating himself, elevating that title until eventually it's time to go for the world championship. And then we're here. It's lit. So yeah, I think just like a classic come and show up, wrestle a bunch of great guys, and just climb the rankings is the way I would go with Keith Lee.
Yeah, I think depending on the timing, I'm not exactly sure. His no compete is probably up around Revolution, I'm guessing.
Right.
So they do have the Face of the Revolution ladder match. I pitched somebody else in an episode that we haven't released yet, so I can't really talk about it yet.
That's good though. I like it.
The other idea is possibly, I don't know when the Owen will work or how that will start, but there could be a slot for him in the Owen as well. I mean, Tony's going to announce that probably tonight, I think is what he said.
Right.
But there are multiple ways of what you could do with Keith. So I really kind of just use that idea to cheat and bring in STP as well because
definitely. I mean, that's a great idea. We love to see STP. I think another thing because they're making the transition over to TBS, so they need to kind of start figuring out some ways to garner some attention over there. And I think a great way to garner some attention would be the TNT title, maybe like a TNT title tournament or something along those lines. Bring in some different guys or the guys that they have there and just have them work. Bring some fanfare to this new debut on TBS, and it'll be lit.
Yeah, a part of me also thinks that we always have like these open challenges for the TNT title where they come in and they normally will lose. But I feel like one time it's going to be somebody's going to come in and they're just going to win it.
Right, yes.
Be Keith Lee even. So if they wanted to do it that way, I know that we mentioned the story thing and I completely agree with it, but
also
if Keith Lee, he could do it. I could understand if they were like, we just want to give him the TNT title, and I'm not going to argue with them at all, right? I think it's super interesting.
That's probably the super best way. Thinking of ways him debuting the TNT championship and winning is a phenomenal way for him to come in, I think so.
Yeah, that I think that trumps my STP plan, but
Tony, STP, man.
Will, if you see this, I need you to tell Tony, since you're friends with Tony now.
Y'all are homies.
Tell Tony to bring in STP with Keith. Okay, and he'll respond to it. So we'll make that happen.
Send out that SOS, Will. Come on, you know how it be.
Yes. Exactly. So the next idea that I wanted to talk about was, especially since she's so prominent right now, what is Naomi's road to WrestleMania? If you're comfortable, I think we should start from booking where she is right now. So we have to book her out of this feud with Sonya first. And this thing with Xia, I guess, what she's involved with now, which we'll probably see play out a little bit more on SmackDown tonight. But I had my road for Naomi to start with an actual match with Sonya at day one. Because I feel like that's the only way we can actually finish this off. It doesn't end on a SmackDown. You've built it so long. It needs to finish and culminate on a pay-per-view.
I agree.
But they struggle to book women's matches that aren't title matches on a pay-per-view.
Yeah, they do.
Leaves me thinking this would be on a pre-show, which I don't appreciate. This is not a pre-show match. You can put this on the main card.
Not something they've been building for this long.
Right. And I think, honestly, I didn't even write this down. I'm thinking about this now. You can even add the stipulation. If Sonya loses, she's no longer in power because she's been manipulating her.
She's been power hungry. Yeah, she's been going crazy.
But another key piece of this for me is I need you to explain why Sonya hates Naomi. I need an actual reason beyond the one that I think it is.
Mm-hmm.
And that we all think it is. So I'm going to give WWE the benefit of the doubt here and say that they thought of an idea of why Sonya hates Naomi. And they came up with it in the writer's room and didn't make it on TV. And I'm not normally this nice,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm going to give you this one. So if you can tell me why Sonya doesn't like Naomi, that's not about racism.
Right.
We'll play along.
Yes.
Because right now it seems like Sonya doesn't like Black women.
That's, I mean, do you hate Naomi for no reason, for zero in any reason at all? Naomi's just trying to get a match.
And like the Aja ref thing, like, and that was crazy. And
yeah,
the thing, no.
Like, what?
The optics look horrendous.
Yeah, they look pretty bad.
I know there has to be like a PR person in the writer's room that's like, we can't do this for this, and this reason.
Mm-hmm.
So there had to be some discussion that is beyond what it looks to be like right now. But I think you do the match at day one. You can have Sonya stripped of her power because what they wanted originally was to have her back in the match, like in the roster, in the active roster, right? So then from there, I think that you can have Naomi eliminate Sonya from the Royal Rumble. You know how they always do those payoffs in the Rumble from like feuds that they're trying to tie up or whatever. But I think Sasha's the one to win the Rumble. This is all assuming that Bayley isn't a part of the match.
Yeah.
Assuming she's not back in time. If she is, you put her in the 4 horsewoman match and have that main event Mania, and then we figure out Bianca later.
Yeah.
Love Bianca, but like you got to do that 4 horsewoman match and get it out there before they're gone.
Right.
But then I think that you have Naomi say, I've been getting all of these wins. You need to let her win first, though. You need to let her win on SmackDown and stuff. Say, I've been getting all of these wins, and I challenge you to a best of 3 series. If I can beat you 3 times in a row, or you can do it 2-1 or whatever you want, then I get inserted into the SmackDown Women's title match at Mania. You can have Naomi beat Sasha twice, and Sasha can win once, and then Naomi gets added to the match, right? But this is the thing that I wanted to kind of play with, is that you make Tamina the ref. You throw it back to Team Bad. I don't know how you get her on. She's on Raw, so you would have to move her to SmackDown, but you'll figure that out. You could do a tag title thing because you don't care about the tag titles anyway, so who cares? But I think that you can have Tamina get instructions and money from Roman Reigns. You can do a little tie-in with the bloodline here if you're gonna, because it seems so weird to me that Team Bad and the bloodline are both kind of connected and you haven't played off of that yet. So if we're able to do that with Tamina as the ref, you can have her take money and take instructions from Roman, and then that can lead to Naomi getting the final win over Sasha as Tamina kind of screws Sasha over. Then Naomi needs to find out later, I don't want her to turn heel. We do not need another heel in the women's division right now, and that's what happened if you put her in the bloodline. So you kind of need to strike away all of these ideas that people are having about Naomi being in the bloodline. So I would do that by Naomi finding out later and saying, this isn't who I am. I want to do this by myself. You can have her go talk to her husband and be like, I want to fend for myself here. I'm a woman and I can do this myself. Whatever. Give her that strong, independent woman story. And then you have her win on Mania at the end. I feel like if you're going to put her in Mania, she needs to win the belts because you can build her for so long. That's like, 4 months to build her. And they did that. Well, they tried to do it with Bianca, kind of, sort of. I mean, the build for the Sasha-Bianca match wasn't the best. But if you can actually formulate a plan and plan out those 4 months, then you can make something like that work.
Right.
That's just the ideas that I had for Naomi. What did you have in mind?
Mine plays along with, I think Royal Rumble plays a big part in this thing. Getting to day one, I think also they should do the match with Sonya to establish that Naomi isn't one to play with. She ain't going to keep, she got to get some comeuppance in this and get her on the way to that. But there's still some kind of snafu, I guess, that happens at day one. This leads to Sonya booking Naomi to be the number one entrance into the Royal Rumble. I also like this idea with the 4 horsewomen. If you got the 4 horsewomen all healthy at the same time, you have to do this match. You just got to do it. It's the only way that you just have to. So the final 4 in the Royal Rumble are Naomi, Bianca, Sasha, and hopefully Bayley. So Bayley and Sasha are beefing. Bianca and Naomi are beefing. Somehow Sasha and Bailey throw each other out, and Naomi dumps Bianca out. Naomi wins the Royal Rumble from the number one slots. That's just to get hella sympathy on her. I know it wouldn't happen, but I think it'd be a great way to establish this.
It's a great story, yeah.
At the February show, Bianca beats the women's champion. I'm guessing
Becky still maybe.
Becky, yeah, maybe even Charlotte, if Charlotte is still the champion.
Yep.
Got to get these four women. You maybe even don't even need the championship for the four horsewomen's match, because that doesn't matter at that point. We have all this prestige, all this legacy, history. Don't even need the belts. So you get the belt onto Bianca. Naomi challenges Bianca and Naomi at WrestleMania.
Oh.
We all cry. We cry 2 years in a row. Beautiful tears of Black women main eventing this show.
That's the year again.
Yeah, I think that Naomi deserves, especially not after everything they put her through her entire career, just what she's going on with the Sonya stuff. She deserves to get her a big match. She deserves to get a big moment. And I think her and Bianca in the main event, or just a match on WrestleMania for the women's championship. Who doesn't want it?
Exactly.
I just get nervous about Liv Morgan because there's a lot of momentum, so that could be a wrench in some things.
I'm so confused with the Raw title picture and how everything is built. I think the story I'm seeing now, if we're not taking into account the four horsemen and Bailey, I see Bianca and Becky at Mania, the two winners of the female main events, facing off against each other for the Raw Women's title. The story that happened at SummerSlam, you tied it in a knot and Bianca wins, and you try to make me feel a little bit better about the way that you screwed me over in that match.
Right.
But I think that they love Liv right now.
They do.
But they don't know how to book her right.
They don't.
So, I don't know where we end up with that one. I don't know how we get out of day one with that either.
Right.
I don't know how you get a Tony Storm in Charlotte either.
I don't. Yeah. It's so
hard. It's really hard to try to fantasy book WrestleMania right now with with how many balls are up in the air for the women's division right now. I also think another idea for Naomi is if they do end up with like that four horsemen scenario and everything goes right, you can put her in a match with Sasha and let them just show.
Definitely.
And just let them have like an actual like women's match. You know what I mean? And I think that's what they would have to do with like Bianca and Liv too. I mean, I know Bianca's like a huge baby face right now, but I'm hoping we get to like heel Bianca again.
I'd be into that too.
She's a super strong
What
heel.
do you think about the women's tag team championships playing any role in any of this? I agree.
Those women's tag titles are.
I agree.
Maybe get rid of the NXT tag titles. And then
why did you make them? I don't understand why they made them. I don't get it.
Maybe they didn't want to beat Shayna and Nia, who they eventually ended up beating on every show on Raw.
It was way better when they were defending the women's tag team championships on all the programs. When Sasha and Bailey went to NXT, that was awesome. Like, why didn't you guys just keep doing this? I don't know what happened here. You guys don't care about tag team wrestling, we know. But geez, come on.
Not women's tag team wrestling.
Yeah,
right. Mammy. Like, no.
Right.
I honestly think if they can get those championships together, you put Bianca and Sasha together as women's tag champs, and you have money.
We're out of here. Yeah, definitely.
I don't know if they see it or if they even know that that's there because they have Carmella and Zelina. If Carissa was on here right now, she would be screaming at me for saying something about Zelina.
Right.
But I just don't know if that's the direction that we're supposed to be going in. I mean, look who's in the picture right now. Rhea and Nikki. And Rhea just main evented. Well, not main evented. She had a big spot in Mania, and she lost in 50 seconds to Zelina Vega now. And you don't know what you're doing with Nikki Ash. So I don't know where we go from here with these titles.
You're right. I forgot about Rhea. I think Rhea needs to be back in the main event scene for the women's championship. Like, I don't know what... Because she had so much momentum, like four different times, and they were like, nope, let's stop it. And she still has momentum, so they have to do something.
I think the smart idea would have been to put her on SmackDown,
Right.
honestly, because they need the baby faces over there. But she was she was like one half of the tag champs at that time, and they, I guess, now like to keep those tag titles on Raw because they have more time to kind of squeeze in a 50-second match or
Right.
whatever. I guess that's how it
They
works.
have
But
more time for that 1 minute. They do.
exactly, she would have been a better fit. If you want to actually remedy some stuff, if I could fantasy book the whole show, you
Yeah.
let Rhea beat Charlotte for realsies at Mania,
Yeah.
and you
Mhm.
fix everything, and you leave
Right.
it alone, and you don't do a rematch.
Don't, never
You
do a
don't do
rematch.
disqualifications.
And then you let Asuka come back and beat Charlotte too, just to put a little stamp on it.
Yeah. And Charlotte says that she wants Naomi to go over her. Like, she said in an interview that she's like hopeful for Naomi and everything like that.
I'd be into Naomi and Charlotte in the WrestleMania. They'd have a killer match for sure.
That's who I was thinking in this match was it's Sasha, Naomi, and Charlotte. I just don't think they're gonna let Naomi win the Rumble. So I was like,
I don't think so either.
How do I get around Naomi not winning the Rumble?
Yeah, I don't think so either. I don't know also if they're gonna let Liv win it. Like Bailey probably will win it if she's coming back, right?
You know who I think's gonna win it? I might get slandered. Alexa Bliss.
Yeah, if Alexa comes back, it could be Alexis or Bailey for sure. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Because I think I don't know when Alexa's scheduled to come back, but if it's around Royal Rumble time, I'm putting my eggs in that basket.
Yeah.
Because they're super hot on Alexa.
They are. They love Alexa so much. For so many years, they just have loved her for so much, and they want her to have accolades. So,
can she please come back as the 5 feet of fury Alexa? Like, no, please just leave the Fiend alone.
Yeah, no, it has to be done.
You got to leave that story. You gave yourself the opportunity to drop that storyline now. Drop the storyline.
You got to drop it.
It happened.
Yeah.
Please try it.
It has to be over.
Right. So for this next portion of the show, we always do this book your own promotion type thing. And I try to switch it up every week. And I wanted to come up with something super special for Reg, the music fan. So we saw this past summer that SmackDown did a little invasion on Rolling Loud. Didn't go over too well. I feel like there were lots of ways.
There were some issues.
Yes, yeah. Lots of the crowd were like, what the hell is happening? So I wanted to kind of take the opportunity to kind of do this our own way. So what I had was that we should create our own show that would take place at like a music festival. So either like Rolling Loud, Coachella, Lollapalooza, et cetera, Jingle Ball, whatever. But I had that it should be like 6 to 8 matches, so like a pay-per-view at a music festival. I don't know how you would make any of that production stuff work. That's not my job. I just sit here.
Right.
I don't. That's not my job at all. But I wanted to include at least 2 special guest music acts, so you can have it be like a performance, special guest referee, a segment. I had way more than 2 because I felt like this was a great opportunity that they missed up on. Do you want to go back and forth with 1 and 1? Is that okay with you?
Yeah, definitely.
Longer, but I feel like it's a little bit more intriguing.
Yeah.
My first match is actually something we just talked about. I had Bianca Belair versus Naomi. And I think that Megan Thee Stallion should do her theme song. Should do Bianca's theme song because they took that picture at Lollapalooza or whatever. And Bianca's theme song is like simple enough that Megan could do it. I mean, you can even do a little remix with it. I'm on my own against the wall. Like Megan could do that. It's not like a super hard theme.
Yeah.
Who would go over? I don't know. I just think the crowd would be really into it if they see Megan Thee Stallion come out. So that's, you got to have like some moments where like the celebrities are there and they're getting the crowd excited about the matches, because otherwise people are gonna be like, what is this? Like, I know what WWE is, but I don't know who these people are. Lots of music fans probably haven't watched wrestling since like the Attitude Era.
Right.
So we need to kind of like take that into account as well. So that was just the first match that I had. What did you have in mind for yours?
Well, this something is actually near and dear to my heart. I've said, and I've talked about this before. The reason that they screwed up at Rolling Loud is the biggest thing that I would have during this thing. I think during the matches, you have to have a rapper rapping at the same time. You have to have music. You don't want to shut music down at a music festival. It doesn't make sense. I came for music. I'll watch the wrestling, but I want to hear music too. So my match would be the New Day versus the Street Profits, and Wale is performing.
We're right on the same path.
Music at the same time. I'm
Yes,
telling you,
yes.
if you combine the music with the matches, that's the way to go. You gotta go all in. You can't just be like, all right, we're shutting down this whole show to do SmackDown randomly. You guys don't care about this. And then, like, if you're gonna,
Broadcasted it was so weird too, like
yeah,
switching back and forth, and the setting, like the lighting of the way it was shot was
right,
weird too.
it
Like
was weird.
it was super crazy.
Yeah, so I think they have to have the music at the same time. Wale was there. He introduced
No.
them. He
Oh yeah.
introduced them at the Rolling Loud show. So
Oh my
he could have
god.
just been rapping right there. They could have kept the show going. It would have been lit. The crowd would have been going crazy. The matches, you got to have super high impact matches too. You can't just have regular. You can't just have regular matches where they're like doing holds and like no. You got to be like you get want to maybe get like some luchadors out there, like something that's like
Yeah.
crazy. You know what I mean? I think
Yes.
that's kind of a mistake. They have like I think it was Otis versus Angelo Dawkins.
Yeah, it was like the Alpha Academy, wasn't it a tag
Yeah,
match?
yeah, it was a slow match. No, you got to have a
Yeah.
high impact fast match right
Right.
there.
And this was one of the things that I had. I'm gonna skip. I kind of pitched this idea in my show with Reg last week. I mean, with Will last week, where you do Shane Strickland versus Leo Rush versus sue me, I guess, AJ Francis. But I want to make West Side Gun the ref. I don't know what addiction I have with making West Side Gun the ref in matches now, but I think you just do it. And I think that Shane, Leo, and AJ all have to perform their own theme songs.
Yeah,
They have to do it themselves live with the mic. I don't know if that's gonna tire them out. Probably will before they get to the ring, but just try it because why not? I think throughout that also you can have like the rest of Griselda perform as well too,
yep.
like while
I'm
West Side
there.
Gun is doing like the referee, and I think he would be super into it. If WWE or AEW asked him to ref a match, he's gonna be like, "What do I got to do? What do I got to learn?" So
Right.
I honestly just want to see them, and you could even try to explain to the crowd that all of these guys actually are rappers and they're just battling the honor of rap in wrestling or something like that.
Right. I mean, I think that's what works with them doing their own entrance music. That'll introduce them for sure.
Yes, yeah, because I feel like a lot of the thing. I mean, unless you pay attention to WWE, you don't know why Bianca Belair and Carmella are facing each other at Rolling Loud. Like,
no, you don't. Who are these people and what are they doing?
Literally, Bianca was so excited to be there too. Like she took it seriously. I would too. Like
I mean, those pictures with Meg are gonna live on forever. Those are forever.
Right. And I extremely missed opportunity, especially with Bianca, because she could be so mainstream.
Oh man,
and it's just like, okay.
Yeah, definitely. It's still very frustrating. It's like I love that they attempted it, and it's like they had a couple elements there, but they just like.
I want to know who got paid out of that because somebody gotta be asking.
Rappers, I know rappers would be mad about the money. Like it's just, it's tough going on there. I would have to get my favorite women's wrestler in the world, Trish Adora, out here. And I would have her facing Big Swole in a match, I think, would just be, just like a great contest. Just two powerful women, two incredible people. And I would have Rhapsody randomly performing some raps during this because I think it'd be very empowering. I think you got to like match these things up to vibes and energies. And if you set the stage, it could be better. It's so easy to do this. I don't know how they screwed it up. Probably because they don't have any black people riding up there, but tis what it is.
Swole and you had me. Everybody knows I love Big Swole.
Gotta get Swole in there. Gotta get Swole in there.
Always. My next match incorporates a member of the New Day and my favorite male wrestler, maybe second favorite male wrestler, Carmelo Hayes, versus Big E in a match.
Fire.
My whole card is black people. And I think that just makes sense. Music is black people, so I don't know. Right, literally. And I think Wale has to perform his entrance and then perform throughout the thing as well. I had Wale down. Extremely missed opportunity. And Biggie was on SmackDown at that time, right? He literally had the Money in the Bank.
Yeah.
So I don't know why we didn't have that situation handled.
Doesn't make sense. Yeah, they brought in Wale for not the New Day. And it's like Wale in my brand new PWI cover story, we talked about how Wale is like the unofficial fourth member of the New Day. So like, how do you not have the New Day here during this show? I
Right.
think also if we're kind of mixing, because I wanted to mix it up with kind of what they did, I would have put everything in my money in my life to get John Cena to wrestle Jeff
Dude,
Hardy at the show. If John
literally,
Cena and Jeff Hardy wrestled each other, everybody in the crowd, no matter what
everybody knows
ethnicity,
them.
what age, what anything you are, you're going to know who these two people are. You're going to know who these two wrestlers are if you don't know no other wrestlers. I think that would have been a way to change the whole game.
They got to find a way to make this happen. You got to find a way to put Wale in the Hall of Fame. I don't know how you do it, but I think
he's going in. He has to. He has to. They have some celebrities that did way less than what he's did for the business, so he has to go in there. And Biggie's going to induct him, or all of the New Day.
That would be perfect. I wanted to put Jeff Hardy in a match here because I know how much people do resonate with Jeff Hardy, but I felt like I felt wrong during this time. I was like, let me just try to, in my mind, he's in this card, right?
Yeah.
So just imagine it that way. But my next match, maybe I'm super biased about this, but I was really excited. I have the main event, or TME, Duke and Gannon versus SCP versus the Street Profits. And you just put it on a big stage. I don't know how you do that with the music, but you just make it happen and you just let a bunch of people fight each other. And that's all that I'm excited for. I just want to see Duke and Gannon just fight a bunch of people. Book more tag matches, cowards.
Book them. Stop playing. I would have Leo Rush in the main event because I think he's probably what Rolling Loud represents and what he does. I think plays such a huge role, and I think the crossover there. He's done a few music festivals already. He's like
doing one like this weekend or something.
Right. Like he's out there. He's in the mix. He knows. He's been at battle rap shows. Like he's in the culture, both cultures, and he's doing it full fledged. Like he's a rapper, he's a wrestler, he's an actor. Like he's all the things. So I think he would have to be the number one main event of the show, and I would put him against Darius Lockhart just because I love Darius Lockhart, and just because I think it'd be super dope. Darius Lockhart comes out, does his promo, does his thing with the black on and everything, and people are just like, damn, who's this guy? And then here comes Leo rapping, a superhero. People are like, damn, who's this guy? Leo's flying.
Power Ranger.
Yeah, he's a Power Ranger.
Be the Power Ranger.
Yeah, seriously. Power Ranger. Seriously, yeah. So get these two guys together. You get the music. Leo has the music. Darius Lockhart has all the other things in the world. So combine it together. Whew,
I feel like Darius also has like mainstream appeal to people.
He does.
Maybe not to white people because he probably scares a bunch of them. That's not my problem.
But for us,
right, exactly.
We love it. I think everything that he represents is incredible. Every time he puts out a new promo, I'm like, yo.
That NWA promo was gold.
Ooh, I mean, it got him a job.
I was literally only watching the pre-show for him. I was like, I'm here for Darius Lockhart. And then they were like, he's not in the match. And like, he's cutting a promo. And I was like, okay, I'm here for the promo anyway.
Right. So the promo was fire. That's the guy. I think he's back. And I think he's going to be back in AEW. So, I mean, I can't ask for anything else if that's, that's what's going on.
Right. My next match is a women's match. So I wanted to just put Mia Yim in here. I don't know what she would do music-wise, but she had a really good theme song when she was in WWE. So I'm guessing that she got taste in music. So I'm just going to use that. And Sasha Banks. Has so much mainstream potential. She's already pretty mainstream as well. She was just at the Spider-Man premiere and she was in The Mandalorian. Capitalize on that. People might not know her too much, but like you can be like, this is, I don't know, I don't watch the Star Wars Mandalorian thing, but you can announce her as that. And people might be like, oh, like, I don't know if people are interested in that, but I guess people like that. So you can do that. And I think you can even do like a Cardi B thing with them. Or like, I don't know if you want to bring in Nikki, but like if you got Nikki money, then bring in Nikki and do something.
They definitely do not have Nikki money. I don't think so. Nikki's gonna laugh in their faces for sure.
Cardi likes wrestling apparently.
Right.
She meets some people, so Cardi might.
I mean, her husband's a big wrestling fan too, so it kind of.
And the Migos are gonna be at day one.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
I'm excited to see what they do with
I'm
that.
super duper excited. I give I give WWE all the stuff. I give them everything. But when they do things like this, it's like, yo, that's
In
dope.
Atlanta too.
In
Smart
Atlanta,
idea.
come
They
on.
used their brain. I don't know who told them that. Maybe the Migos came to them and were like, "We want to do this. Can you get us in this?" Maybe they called up their like manager and were like, "Hey."
Maybe Xavier's from Atlanta, Biggie. I'm thinking something like that because there's no way they just thought like, let's get the Migos. Like, come on.
Does Vince know who the Migos are? Is
No
my
way.
question.
No way. Not in 5,000 years. Not in 5 million years. No way at all. But yeah, that's insanely dope. And I'm going to watch that because I'm excited to see what they're going to do. And I'm excited to
Oh
see
my
if Big
god!
E's going to lose his belt also. Jesus.
I said off the top.
I'm saying.
I wonder. The smart idea is to either pair them with like the tribal chief in the bloodline, or like the New Day or something like that, or even the Street Profits. I feel like they're gonna lean towards the Street Profits more.
Yeah.
Because it has like more of the party atmosphere or something like that.
That makes a lot of sense.
I'm
That's what I
excited
would
for
think so.
either one. I'm excited. And then we have a question here. I don't know if you're okay with answering this. Speaking of Leo, how would you book him, Dante, Darius, once Darius Martin comes back from injury?
Them 6-man champion, exactly what you were talking about. Bring them ROH championships in. Let these 3 guys be a trio. I think what they're doing here is they're trying to get them away from each other, though. I think that's what this whole Team Taz and Leo. I think they're trying to like separate them because I think Leo has to be a single star because you can't like. I think both of the guys. I think Dante and Darius are going to be a tag team together. Top Flight's going to be back, and Leo's going to be over here because you can't have all that talent at the same time because it's too much. When Dante and Leo were together, you're like, well, these guys are superstars. We can only focus on one at a time because it's a bright, shining light. So I think Leo's on his way to Leo and Sammy Guevara is going to come up soon. I think that's going to be a match.
Cody? Leo, Cody is what you mean.
Jaychele, I forgot about Cody Rhodes. I forgot. You are right. Leo Rush and the soon-to-be TNT World Champion.
Did Phil tell
Cody
you we
Rhodes.
called this on our show? Literally, it was me, him, and Carissa. We did a pre-tape. It comes out in like 2 weeks, so I don't care about saying it now. But we were like, let's book Cody Rhodes turning heel, and Phil is like, he's already heel. Give him the TNT title. Yep. I was like, no, you can't do that. You can't give him the title again. And then he challenges him, and I'm like, Phil, I'm giving you my apology right now. I'm saying I'm sorry.
Yeah.
That was crazy.
Then his wife is gonna come, just like I said. She's gonna beat Britt Baker. 1, 2, 3 in the middle of the ring. Then she's gonna challenge the winner of the TBS championship, and she's gonna beat them too. And Brandy's gonna be Brandy 2 belts. And it's going to be Brandy and Cody, Roads to the Top Season 2, the champions. That sounds so awful. Take that off the record. Don't nobody print that. Please don't.
You know what you can print? I'm going to make a prediction. So it's going to be Jade and Brandy. And Brandy's going to be the one to defeat Jade's undefeated streak. Yes. They're going to circle back to the promo. And it's going to be Brandy.
Right.
End of story.
I agree. They already set this up on the reality show. Like she was mentoring Jade. She was watching from the top the whole time. And then she's gonna stomp her, and Brandy's gonna be the champion, and we're all gonna rejoice. And then their kid's gonna grow up really fast. Their kid's gonna be champion too.
Oh God.
Their kid versus Triple H and Stephanie's kid.
Tag titles, and Brandy and Liberty are gonna win the tag titles.
Fire. It's gonna go on forever. Then Cody's going to say, forget about that stipulation. I want to be the world champion. And that's when he's really a heel. That's what he really should do, honestly, is just say, that's the way to go all the way. He'll say, hey, you guys remember that stipulation? Don't care. I'm going to be the champion.
It's going to happen real soon. That's coming real soon. Who is going to be the... I don't want to think about it. I don't want to think about who Cody's beating because it's just going to make me upset. So...
He's beating whoever he wants, Jaychele. It's Cody Rhodes.
I thought Brian was beating Paige.
We'll see. Look, there's things, and then there's also. Then what happened was Brian, he had flipped, and then Hangman Page had hit him with the clothesline, and then what happened? Like I thought that I don't know what happened. I don't know.
Are you supposed to wear like a cowboy suit or something? Wasn't that a stipulation for the match?
Yeah. we'll see tomorrow at 9 a.m. Pacific, 12 noon, Grapsity Pod. It could be anything. I don't know.
I'm gonna be
So
tuning in. I'm excited for
definitely.
it. And then I have to stay up real late tonight because I gotta watch GCW because it comes on in your time. But that match is gonna bang.
Oh my God.
Excited.
AJ Gray against Jonathan Gresham for the ROH World Championship Pure Rules. I can't even.
Crazy.
I'm gonna cry myself to sleep tonight for sure because that's like a Righteous Reg dream match, dream stipulations. The ROH World. That's like you guys. I can't take that. That's too much. Too much good stuff for me. That's like eating like two pizzas at the same time, just straight up. That's what this match is gonna be for me.
What do you dip your pizzas in? This is a really off-topic question, but now I'm intrigued. Do you do dipping sauce, or you don't do
No
dipping?
dipping sauce. I think people, my very controversial opinion, stop drowning your pizza in ranch. When you drown it in ranch, it's just ranch pizza.
I
You
don't
just
do it.
eliminates all. I like what kind of pizza you have. It doesn't matter. It's just ranch pizza now. Stop it. Stop drenching your pizza. Stop destroying your pizza in ranch. Leave the ranch alone. The ranch is for salad. It's not for pizza, you guys.
I like to put my pizza in garlic sauce.
Okay,
Like,
that's pretty good.
I don't know. I put in a seafood boil before. It was even better. But my next match, I had to put him in this card. Otherwise, the hookers are gonna come for me. So
Smart.
I put the only non-black person on my card. Maybe I'm gonna get my status as a black woman taken away. But this man is very adjacent. Just as
Look,
adjacent
Jaychele,
as
the fact of the matter is, my generation, a bunch of us thought for a long time that Hook's dad was a black man. That's just an actual fact. When I first saw Taz, I'm like, man, who is this brother? He's
he's
the man. So I mean, yeah, those are just the facts. Those are just.
I think it's genetics, and it gets passed down to his son.
Right.
His son acts like he's a
Yeah.
member of the family.
I'm saying.
So Hook. Just, as long as you don't say the word, you're fine.
Yes, that's what we have to draw the line here, Hook.
But then I have him facing Ricky Starks.
Ooh.
Just because I feel like we're gonna get there eventually, so I just put it on this card.
Mm-hmm.
Hook is very good, and Ricky Starks is very good. Maybe I'm saying that Hook is very good too early, but I mean that debut was something special.
And I think you're right. I think we are leading to this match in real life, which is going to be amazing. Ricky Starks is, I mean, if you want to put Hook in there with someone that's going to make him look great and going to lead him along the way, Ricky Starks is the guy for sure.
Yes. I love both of those guys. They're both on my top tier list. And then I think you got to put Action Bronson in this. I mean,
come on.
It's just an easy layup.
I think a big point would be where is it taking place also? Where was it in New York the last time they were there, the Rolling Loud show? I can't even remember. I think that plays a big role too because the Rolling Loud shows are kind of catered to the region, the audiences. So like say this was taking place in Atlanta, I think a match I would want to have is got to have my favorite wrestler in the world, AJ Gray here. Waka Flocka Flames, bring him down to the ring. If this is in Atlanta, that's going insane. I'm telling you. So region would play a super huge role. I think you got to have a big like scramble match, a big like 6-man Snifu crazy, like one of them GCW type crazy ones.
You gotta have a spot fest match.
Yeah, spot fest. You gotta have something like that because the fans don't want to see them lockups, bro. They don't want to see no stories. They don't want to see none
Jonathan Gresham to death. I wanted to put him in the show. This is not the place.
It's not for Jonathan Gresham. He's not. We don't need Jonathan Gresham at Rolling Loud. I love Jonathan Gresham, top 5 in the world, but one of the best wrestlers there is. But like, you got to just know your market, man. You got to know your market. That's what Terminus is for. In January, it's lit.
Are you going? No, you're going to.
I'm not. Yeah, I'm not going anywhere. COVID has stopped. I'm done. I'm staying at home. I can't. Yeah. I thought about it. I was like, I can't, you guys.
I cannot pass up on my opportunity. The chat knows. I cannot pass up on the opportunity to meet Daniel Garcia, Lee Moriarty, and Jordan Grace in the same event. I told Cassie to bring a pillow for when I pass out so I can land on the pillow.
I mean, I agree.
Dude.
Yeah.
Phil and Reg will probably see me on. Phil Phil and Will.
Phil and Will.
That's like a tongue twister. They'll probably see me on the ground somewhere crying, just doing my thing.
I'm gonna be crying that all y'all are there and I'm not there. That's gonna be such an amazing show.
I feel like they have to get a distribution deal. I feel like they at least could be on Fight or something like that.
Yeah, it's gonna be very interesting to kind of see where this whole thing goes. To see because they're saying it's just a one-off. Like they just want to do a show and have a good time. But yeah, I know. That's what everyone says. Until we're all gonna be praising how amazing this show is. We're all gonna be great, and they're gonna be like, "Hey, yeah, let's do another one." Yeah, we get it. We got it. Do 500 of them. We're gonna be there every time.
I'm fingers crossed. Jesus, if there is a way, get me down to Atlanta so I can go to all of these shows. But also, Kiera Hogan is on that show, and I can't wait to see her.
Fire.
Okay.
And Flavor.
Tasha Steelz on this show. How do we make that happen? Because then my life will be complete. I'll meet Tasha Steelz, and my life will be fully complete.
Man, I'm sad they're not a tag team forever. I wanted them to stay together. They're so good.
They were so good together. I mean, Tasha Steelz going to get that Knockouts title real soon.
I'm saying she's going to be in that Ultimate X match. That's coming up pretty soon. So shout out. Is that tomorrow? I don't know when it is. Sorry, Impact, you guys, but Tasha Steelz.
You don't give me interviews, Impact. I'm not supposed to know your stuff.
I mean, we've talked about those Impact people before, but yeah, shout out to all these women that are going to be in this Ultimate X match. That match is going to be insane. I'm excited to see what happens. Those matches are scary. Be careful out there, everybody.
I'm so excited as well. And then I had one more match, and this was like my main event match. Just because I wanted to see the contrast of styles, because styles make fights. So I have Dante Martin taking on Keith Lee. Just because they both share a lot of athleticism, maybe in different ways. You're not going to see Keith Lee doing that double jump thing that Dante does as his finisher,
right?
But it would look crazy, the stuff that Keith would do to Dante, especially because he is like a smaller guy as well. That like Keith can throw him around, and then like Dante can just do a flip out of it, like, and it'll look super super cool. Like those spots where like you suplex somebody, just a flip, but you know what I mean. Dante always does those cool spots.
He does.
So I would have that in my main event. We saw Dante main event this past Wednesday, which had me losing my shit. Yeah. I was there crying, super excited. If you say Dante is too young, you and me got beef because he's proved that he's advanced.
That doesn't mean anything. I hate when people say that. Have you seen him in the ring? That doesn't mean nothing. Look at that. Look what he does. He's incredible. Literally. Yeah, no, I would have Dante Martin in my main event too, because I think hopefully Darius would be back. Some kind of crazy main event with them. My main event would be Top Flight versus Private Party and crazy. Go for it. Y'all are on fire. Show these people what it's about. And I think I want to see that match when it happens in the AEW very soon. I hope Darius is going to be back soon. I hope that both the Private Party are healthy. I hope that they get away from Matt Hardy. I hope that
apparently they are. Apparently that's happening. Like like Matt is teasing it on Twitter. He's saying it's been cool, and then Isaiah was like, "What do you mean been?" Like, yeah. So
it's time though. It's time.
Yes, I thought that it was going to happen with Private Party and Leo. I thought that Leo was
same here.
Party from them, and I was super excited for that.
Same here.
But either way, Isaiah and Mark can talk, right?
Yeah.
Like
they don't need a mouthpiece like that. I don't think so. I think they just need to. They showed it when AEW started. They were one of the top types. I thought they were getting behind them. I thought a lot happened, but Private Party was my team for a while, and I don't know what happened. I guess
they had the theme song. They had everything.
Yeah, it was lit. I think they could still come back from it. It could still happen. So I'm not giving up hope. AEW always loves their tag team division. They'll randomly have something crazy going on. So,
fun fact, actually, Private Party was the first people from AEW I ever saw. I was trying to figure out what AEW was, and I was like, I went to go watch an episode of Dark. Not the place for me to start, but I had no instructions. So I was like, and then I saw the Shots dance, and I was like, I like this team. And Mark's hair is insane and caught me off guard, so I was super excited by that. I feel like they're gonna get the tag titles eventually. It might be a little bit.
I think so too.
But
I had an idea back in the day. An idea about a year ago, Tony Khan makes AEW dark titles, And so what happens is you you win 5 matches on Dark, then you get a title match, and then you win that belt. If you defend the belt 5 times on Dark, you get to have a match on Dynamite. And then that's kind of the way they transition out from
I
new
hope
to
you
this.
understand. You said a lot of math for wrestling fans.
Yeah.
That is,
I mean,
love the idea, but math is not our.
money, numbers, time, and stuff. AEW Dark Championships, I think, would be very cool because they have a lot of talent there and they can add a little bit of stakes to the show to make them more important because people don't think they're important. So if you have these little championships that are over here, that defended over here, then they can translate right to the main roster and we're lit.
Yes, yes. Well, that wraps us up. Thank you so much for being on here. I wanted you to tell everybody that all the great stuff you're doing, your music, Grapsity, all the good stuff.
Yes. First of all, go to your store right now and get you a copy of the brand new PWI cover story. Me, Big E, we had a conversation, insanely dope. We talked about him winning the world championship. We talked about the New Day. We talked about Wale. We talked about his journey. It was amazing. RighteousReg.bandcamp.com. You can hear some raps. It's me. I'll be rapping every Saturday morning.
On my ad, he had a show on Twitch. It was the vibes. It was the whole vibes.
Thank you for watching. That's super dope. Every Saturday morning, it's Grapsty. It's me, Will, Phil. Every Saturday talking about Graps. Me ranting sometimes. Tomorrow there's going to be some cowboy shit. It's going to be all kind of stuff. At Righteous Reg on all your social media accounts. I really be talking a whole bunch of stuff on Twitter. So if you want to get some stuff over there, follow me. Thank you, Jaychele. This has been amazing. Your journey these last couple of months has been amazing. You're killing it. You're just transitioning into different positions so quickly and so effortlessly. It's been amazing. I'm so happy for you, and I can't wait to see what you do with the rest of your stuff.
Thank you so much. It's been like 2 months. I'm like, what the hell just happened to me?
It's like every time you tweet something, I'm like, well, she's killing it again. Look at that. So congrats to you. That's so dope.
Thank you so much. I have a really, really cool interview coming out tomorrow at 12 with the main event. Actually, Duke can get here. So excited.
Look, Jaychele's trying to book more tag matches. You got it.
I tweeted it today. Yeah. I got a feature article on them. Like, this is a secret, but they're on the top of my list. I released the Shining Stars of Dark and Dark Elevation list, and they're at the top of the tag team list.
Boom, boom. They're fire. They're huge. They're scary.
They're 6'5".
They're so giant.
Literally, Duke tweeted out he wants to learn how to ride a horse. And I said, imagine a 6'5" man, 250 pounds, riding a horse at you.
My bro, come on. What are you doing? You're going to be too giant for that horse. You got to get 2 horses.
Crazy. That's crazy. Okay, so you guys can follow me on the Twitter as well, at Jaychele Nicole. I got it on my screen right over here. And then, obviously, I had an issue spelling righteous. It's also on his screen as well. I'm not the best speller. Yeah, so just add an at and take away the space over there.
Yeah.
And you guys can check out bodyslam.net, which brought you this show at bodyslam.net on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, all that good stuff. And you can subscribe to the channel if you're watching on YouTube. And then check us out with all our website stuff, which is probably where the articles about the main event and some other really, really cool people who I cannot announce yet, but I'm super, super excited to do. There will be articles and interviews with them. Bodyslam.net as a website in your browser. You can check us out over there. Where I'm also now the co-managing editor. This is my first episode where I'm like co-managing editor, and this is super weird. So
let's go.
Super, super excited. Fire. Thank you guys so much for checking this out. We will have a special edition episode next week with Kate Hensler, and we'll be going live on Thursday instead of Friday. Same time, all that good stuff. It's just Christmas Eve, so we want you to enjoy your Christmas. But make sure you guys check us out. I'll be doing all the promoting and stuff, so if you just want to follow me on Twitter, you'll get the notifications, all that good stuff. But make sure you guys check out Reg and Grapsity, all his music, all his cool stuff. Such a huge fan. Thank you guys so much for being here, and we hope you have a great Friday. So peace out, y'all.